So often we come across barriers which are obstructions to our mobility justice and also the access to other people. Mobility justice, the way we conceptualize it, resources should be targeted towards those who have least access to transport and mobility, rather than the current situation of resources being very much targeted towards those who have the most mobility privilege. We're fundamentally a disabled people's organisation, led by disabled people. We have a background in access to cycling, so providing inclusive cycling sessions, which also includes a variety of led rides, which are intended to be open to disabled people as well as non-disabled people. But through offering the inclusive cycling sessions, the organisation realised that there was a much bigger issue of access to cycling that couldn't just be dealt with by dealing with everything on a one disabled person at a time basis. And so out of that came our campaigns and policy work. And for campaigns and policy, we are very, very much a national organisation. Both nationally and globally, the poorest people are routinely the worst affected. And routinely, nationally and globally, disabled people are the poorest of the poor. Not always, again, but there is a very, very strong correlation there and intensification of disadvantage. Climate breakdown has very specific impacts for disabled people, whether it can be extra pressure on equipment we use, extra problems continuing to use equipment. When we get emergencies, catastrophic events, then so often the emergency plans make no provision for disabled people. But then beyond that, the mitigation schemes also have this tendency to ignore disabled people, whether it be the e-chargers, which are put in locations which obstruct the pavement for disabled people, or are put on pavement build-outs which you can't get to if you're a disabled person, or rely on cables which are just too heavy to use for some disabled people. Locally, had the situation of number of blue badge parking spaces being taken out to provide e-charging parking spaces, and the equality impact assessment has been lost. The fake concern for disabled people that's often enlisted as a reason for inaction by climate deniers and climate skeptics. Yes, there are real reasons for provision needing to be improved, but so often it's not a question of amplifying disabled people's voice, it's a question of people thinking, I can use this as an argument against, and not actually consulting disabled people along the way. Transport-related inequalities, just so familiar to disabled people. Still, we've got the situation where a really, really significant proportion of UK rail stations are inaccessible. We've got a Leonard Cheshire estimate of 40%. Myself, I think it's probably considerably higher. This is moving in the right direction. We've got to recognise things are moving in the right direction in that respect. I can remember when it was only 10% that were accessible. So things are improving, but too slowly. I love this quote. As with everything else in my life, my cycling is controlled by people who don't have a disability. Until such time as people with disabilities gain positions of power to influence infrastructure, financial support, etc., this will never change. Fortunately, there are disabled people gaining some of the positions of power. Not enough, not fast enough, but we're working on it.